Welcome to the Mayor's Forum. My guest today is Tom Sullivan. Tom is the general manager of McCullough's Emerald Golf Links, which is our municipal golf course. Before I interview Tom, I'd like to give you a little background for especially the new people that moved into town that may not know the history. The golf course is located on Ocean Heights Avenue. It used to be the former Atlantic County landfill. It was right in the center of our town, creating a great deal of problems for the people who lived around it and the people that used it. So back in the mid to late 80s, it was decided that the landfill was filling up and that the owners of the landfill at that time was BFI, Browning Ferris Industries. And they came to the township and said, look, we're going to be closing this shortly. What do you want to do with this closed landfill? Well, a group of volunteer citizens, actually really a blue ribbon panel of people got together and did all kinds of studies on what use the old landfill could be turned into. They looked at recreation, ball fields, and so forth. It was decided that we had plenty of land and we didn't want to put kids on a closed landfill. And furthermore, because it was closed to the state of art, with a closure, nothing could be built on top of it where anything would penetrate the closure of the landfill. So this group got together back in the late 80s. At about the same time the casino industry was developing, and there was only a few golf courses around, and it was decided, why don't we develop and turn this former landfill, like some others in the country, turn it into a golf course that would be affordable for our residents and anybody else who would want to use it. So that went along for quite some time, and it was decided and brought to the governing body at that time to build the golf course. It took quite a while. I became mayor. I was asked to make sure it was built, and it was quite a difficult task, quite frankly, one of the toughest things that I ever was involved in. And then it was also decided by our lawyers and our financial people that we should form a nonprofit corporation. So the operators now, and basically the tenant of the golf course, the municipal golf course, is called the Egg Harbor Township Golf Corporation, which is a nonprofit, state-recognized golf course or profit center. So anyhow, that's how it developed, and lo and behold, when it opened, the governing body decided to name it after me. People think I own it because it says McCullough's Emerald Golf Links. I do not own it. The taxpayers and the people of Egg Harbor Township own it. And then the golf industry built up around it. Actually, this town is so big, we actually have 6 18-hole golf courses within its boundaries. We have Harbor Pines, we have Twisted Dunes, we have Green Tree Golf Course, which is county-owned golf course. We have Balamar, and we have Hidden Creek, which is a private country club. So anyhow, just a little background. The golf course is owned by the taxpayers. It's run and operated by a board that's called the Egg Harbor Township Golf Corporation. They meet monthly with the general manager, and they're the policy makers. And with that said, I have with me today is Tom Sullivan, who's been the general manager for many, many years. When we first opened, we hired a management team called Billy Casper Golf, and Tom was hired by them. We finally decided that we thought we could possibly run the golf course a little more efficient. We kept only a few people from the Billy Casper, Tom being one of them, and Tom has been the general manager for many, many years. So with that said, Tom, let's talk about the golf course. What's new?
Sure. Well, the food and beverage operation, we have 2 new hires. We have Chef Ken Klein and Dan Anderson. Both of them in their own right are huge for our culinary program at the golf course. Dan Anderson was at the Ram's Head Inn for many, many years and owned and operated his own restaurant, Sandy Point, in Summers Point. And Ken Klein was a longtime Margate chef, went out to Vail, Colorado, worked at a Marriott and another standalone restaurant out in Vail, worked at the Taj Mahal, and we were lucky enough to pick Kenny up. Ken actually just won an award with the Boys and Girls Club Men Are Cooking event. He won Best Chef and Best Plate at that event. So the two of them combined have really raised the bar on our outings and our banquets and just our daily cuisine at the golf course. And you know, speaking of the food and beverage operation, we have a great deck off of the back of the clubhouse that overlooks the 8th fairway and the 18th fairway, which is a great venue for whether it's a golf outing or whether it's a banquet or even just coming and having a quick bite to eat if it's open. And it's a 3-season room, so we have vinyl curtains that we can control the climate at least May through October. So that's the biggest news, or the newest news at the golf course.
Yeah, and another little background on what Tom was talking about with the restaurant portion of the golf course. When we first opened, Billy Casper operated the golf course. Then the board decided that, yeah, well, let's lease it out. So we leased it out to an operator. He operated successfully for a number of years, and then he sold his operation to another restaurateur. And they ran it for a number of years, and then they ran into some financial problems that we never could understand because we knew their numbers were good. And then the Library 3 came in, and they operated for a number of years. We saw their numbers were good. We don't know what happened with them. And then the board of the Egg Harbor Township Golf Corporation made the decision, let's just keep it the same name as the golf course, and we'll operate it ourselves. And so far, it's been really turned out great. Tom talks about the back deck. Here it is going into May. Beautiful, beautiful views of the lake. I think it's, without a doubt, the only restaurant on the mainland that's got a fantastic view.
Yeah, it does have a great view. It really has
a great view. And I think you're booking a lot of retirement parties, graduation parties.
Yeah,
and I know you've had some funeral.
We've had some funeral business,
yeah.
and what we're really looking for is the banquets and that operation to be. We're Egg Harbor Township's golf course. We want to be Egg Harbor Township Center for any type of an event, whether it's a youth organization coming or whether it's a fundraising event or a family function. And it's very, we have very affordable pricing and very good menus. Ken and Dan are able to tailor a menu to basically anybody's budget.
How do you think now getting really moving off from the restaurant portion of it? How do you think our golf course fares compared to other golf courses in the area?
We're right there with any of the golf courses in the area. Number one, we have probably the best superintendent in our area. Steve Lane does a phenomenal job at the golf course. Steve was at high-end public and private golf clubs in New Jersey, as well as he was in Hawaii for about 4 or 5 years. And he's opened some high-end private golf courses in the area. Galloway National was one of them. He opened it as an assistant.
Twisted Dunes, I understand he helped build it.
He was involved in the construction of Twisted Dunes as well.
Which is a very nice course.
Absolutely. So as far as that town is concerned, and the superintendent and the quality of the golf course, our greens stand up to anybody's golf course, and I'm very confident in saying that. Also, our designer, Stephen Kay, has designed 3 great golf courses in our immediate area. He designed Harbor Pines, Blue Heron Pines, as well as Scotland Run. And he's currently doing a renovation project for the Union Club with Torresdale Country Club. So Stevens has a great resume, as well as, I'm sorry, well, Stevens done a great job. And what Stevens done is...
He actually did the original layout for Hidden Creek.
He did the layout for Hidden Creek.
The original layout. I mean, the Ben Crenshaw came in and
exactly
and really finished it off nicely.
And what he did at McCullough's is sort of what he did with Architects Club up in North Jersey. Architects, he took great architects and took a design from one of their golf courses and put it at Architects. With McCullough's, he took holes from Ireland or Scotland, some of the famed British Isle golf courses, and replicated those holes at McCullough's Emerald Golf Links. So we've got our own representation of the 14th hole at St. Andrews, as well as 17 other holes. So he's done a really good job, but the course is in really spectacular shape.
Mm-hmm. Good. We have a little video that Tom's going to describe some of the holes, and we'll talk right through it.
This 18-hole Stephen K design is a unique tribute to famed European courses such as St. Andrews, Carnoustie, Prestwick, Glen Eagles, and Turnberry. Utilizing the natural tricky winds with open fairways, vast natural waste areas, remarkable grass mounds and bunkers, 100-foot elevation changes, and water on 5 holes, the golfer enjoys a distinctly different Irish-Scottish golfing experience.
This is our 8th hole. It's a dogleg right. We've got water to the left-hand side that you can see. Tough driving hole. You need to obviously hit it straight down the middle. You've got some trees to the right-hand side. Fairly, I guess, fairly short. After you hit your drive, you're going to have somewhere between 165 yards and 130 yards into the green that's guarded by 2 bunkers. And it's a
little water on your left too.
The green's relatively flat. It's got a little bit of contour towards it. Everything breaks towards the left from this view, or towards the water. It's a fun hole. You just have to make sure that you get your drive in the fairway. And hole number 12 is difficult. It's a long par 4. When you're hitting your tee shot, you're really unable to see the fairway. You just see like a pole in the middle of the fairway, and that first pole that you see coming up is our 250-yard marker. You want to hit at that marker or just left of that marker. And there's several bunkers, one to the left. There's a grass bunker also beyond that, and then we're guarded up to the along the right-hand side.
By the way, the tee box is the highest land in the county.
You can see the Atlantic City skyline on a nice clear day from the 12th tee box.
And Ocean City.
Yes.
And part of Cape May. It's amazing, beautiful.
And that's just an interesting greens complex. And here we are, hole number 17, par 5, can be reachable in 2 shots. And you can't see it from this drone version, but you're hitting uphill. And you can really, again, only see the mounds. And that's one of the things that is really interesting about McCullough's, are the blind shots that you have at the golf course, where you certainly, it helps if you played the golf course maybe 2 or 3 times and you start to know the course a bit, but certainly ask for a course guide if you've never played the golf course. This layout's pretty straightforward. There's a lot of mounding, and again, that mounding through the 17th, you see a lot of this mounding on other holes throughout the golf course. With our 100-foot elevation changes, you really do have that true Irish golf links of the rolling hills. And this hole number 18, really illustrates the elevation drops. People love this hole. You're up above the hole, hitting down to the fairway. It's a short hole. There's a little bit of trouble to the right with the water, but certainly a nice wide fairway. You can see our clubhouse and our deck. It's a nice, fun place to actually watch golfers coming down. If you got like a large group of people, you know, one of those golf outing days, you can watch people from your group come down and play the 18th hole and have a little fun with them.
We're very fortunate. I mentioned earlier, there's 6 18 in Egg Harbor Township. You have Harbor Pines that's across the street, beautiful, maintained golf course, Twisted Dunes, right down the street, which has got some nice changes in elevations, not as dramatic as ours, but very nice. You have, for the beginner, you got Green Tree, the county course. It's on Mays Landing, Summers Point Road. You got a beautiful golf course called Ballamar. It's off English Creek Avenue. Was a private golf course, now it's open to the public. And then you have a beautiful Hidden Creek, which is really recognized nationally as one of the nicest private country clubs in the United States. So we're very fortunate. We get some great golf courses. Let's talk about some of the benefits that are available to our local residents.
So obviously we all know that we're in a resort area. Greens fee prices in the area are high, and McCullough's actually charges higher rates or high rates to visitors in the area, but our township residents are able to get a free resident card with proof that they live in Egg Harbor Township, and that may be a driver's license, a voter registration card, your tax bill, or if you're younger, you're a student, it could be your school ID. And with the resident card, you receive 15 to upwards to 35% off of our public greens fee rate. So township residents always get the best rate when they come over to McCullough's.
Now we do have memberships, correct?
We do. We have a full membership, which is unlimited golf for $1,800. We have a weekday option for $1,400, which is Monday through Friday unlimited play, and you can still play on weekends. It's just after 1 o'clock. One of the most affordable memberships is our Twilight membership. It's a $400 membership, and now that we're in daylight savings, that's anytime after 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and once we get back to Eastern Standard Time, it's after 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And we have one of the lowest cart fees in the area. Our cart fee is $20. For 9 holes, it's 11, and as members, you always have the option to walk the golf course. Certainly, it's great exercise to play and walk. Or you can even buy the cart pass for $1,000, which is unlimited cart fees. So, as a member, you can get unlimited carts, unlimited greens fees for $2,800. And for those that want to look for some other discounts, we have a 10-pack card where 10 rounds for $399, and that's for rounds before 8 o'clock or after 12 o'clock. So there's several options to figure out the best way depending on how often you play and when you like to play.
You know, I was watching a program recently on the Golf Channel, and they're talking about, there's been a sort of a downturn in the last 8, 9, 10 years in the golf industry. They're now projecting that there's, in 2016, over 2 million more golfers have played golf or participate in some way in the golfing industry. So that's a good thing for us, especially being as you say, a resort area. Mm-hmm. Now, women and children are important to the golf game.
Certainly, especially to your point of growing the game and making sure that we keep the younger people and families involved in golf. So we offer after 5 o'clock, children play free with a paying adult. So anytime after 5 o'clock, children can play free. We have junior rates. Anywhere from $21 to $26, depending on the time of the year, for juniors to come out after 11 o'clock. We also offer, I didn't mention it when you asked me about memberships, but a junior membership for $199 for juniors.
What age is that?
That's under 17.
Okay.
Yeah. And we have a special ladies membership for $400. It's basically, it kind of mirrors our weekday membership where ladies can play Monday through Friday anytime. They can play weekends after 1 o'clock. Because it mirrors our weekday membership, it is limited to 50 rounds of golf, which is certainly still a lot of rounds of golf.
Oh, it is, sure.
Yeah. But we also have clinics to introduce people to the game, or people can improve their game. We have a Tuesday clinic. It's $30. Bob Herman, a PGA professional, conducts the clinic. He does 45 minutes of instruction, where half of that time is spent on the short game and the other half is spent on hitting, longer shots, drives, and approach shots. It's $30, and that includes 9 holes of golf, or quite frankly, as many holes as you want to play after the clinic's over. So we do that on Tuesdays at 5 o'clock. We have a family clinic on Sundays, and that's $30 per person. Children are an additional $10, and that starts at 4 o'clock, and that's every Sunday starting in May.
Is that Bob too?
That's also Bob Herman as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Bob's well known in the area as a golf professional. He's worked at a number of other golf courses in the area, so we're lucky to have him.
Yeah, he's a quality instructor.
Let's talk about outings and the possibility for some of our local charities, the ability to, bring in some money and keep their charities going.
Yeah, so outings are a really great way to raise money. I mean, a typical fundraiser tends to be a beef and beer event, and I like to describe a golf outing as kind of a beef and beer on steroids. So, a golf outing, we may sell you a rate depending on the time of the year at $40 or $45, and then we would add a food package that might be $20. So typical outings in fundraising events may charge $90, $100, $125. So if you made, if we're charging $65, you're charging your guests $100, you're getting $35 a head. Many outings will have 100 participants, so there's $3,500 that you've made just off of the golf, and then we've got hole sponsor signs, which you make, that's all profit basically. Most organizations sell a hole sponsor sign at $100, and you can put as many. Just because we have 18 holes doesn't mean you have to stop at 18. Many outings that we have 36 and 50 signs at $100 a piece. So, and then you do the normal things that you would do at a beef and beer. You might have a 50-50. You might have a silent auction. So it's very conceivable to make $5,000 to $10,000 off of a golf outing.
I've spoken to a number of volunteer organizations who said it's the easiest way we ever made $5,000 to $10,000 in a day, and we had fun doing it. So it is really a good venue for and
it's a great
raising
way
money
for the people that are giving you money to basically spend time with them and just have a nice outing. And
Yep, nice atmosphere. All right, well, Tom, thanks for being here again. Very informative, and I know the golf course is doing well. The place looks great. Steve Lane has really worked very hard to make sure that it is the best condition of any course around here, I believe.
Absolutely.
So, folks, I hope you enjoyed our program today, and if you have any thoughts or ideas of a program you'd like to see, don't hesitate to give us a call at 926-4044 and let us know. Thanks for being with us.